y'all! Today we're going to talk about automation pieces. Specifically, the ones that move stuff around. So let's start off first with the dropper. The dropper drops items in front of itself in a general area, as you can see here. And it'll drop things from anything that produces or holds an item. However, it doesn't work on the containers, the large containers, or the cloud chests at this time. The dropper fires the items in the order that they're placed in the chest. They'll eject one item about every 8 seconds, or immediately if that 8 seconds is passed. They can be placed directly on top of each other so that you can drop more items, and in cases like crab pots and whatnot, if more than one item is obtained at one time, it will shoot out one, and others may be lost, so you will want to use more than one dropper. And be careful, they are flammable, so you can't use them in hell. Next we have the absorber. Used on its own when placed on walls or other items, it will pull items from a 2x2x2 area in front of the spout. When placed on storage units, however, it will suck the items into them. This includes chests, refinery chests, and markets. Like the dropper, they don't currently work on containers, large containers, or the cloud chests. The suction is not a constant stream, so the absorption does pause every so often. And for some reason, you can also place them on mobs. When using them, they can pull items past themselves, so make sure to use a wall to stop the item when you want it to stop. Like the dropper, these can also be placed directly on top of each other, and because it's not strong, if you want to pull an item vertically or across open floors, you'll want to use more than one. And these items are also flammable, so you don't want to use them in hell. Next we have the craft connector. These items transfer materials from storage containers to an item creation bench for automated crafting. The craft connector itself is placed on the storage chest, and when the bench is placed in front of it, it will connect when it's in the right spot. These transfer items every 5 seconds, so if the craft is a little bit faster on the bench, it will take a pause before it actually transfers the next items. And the craft connectors work from up to 2 tiles away, and they can work through walls. As of this recording, however, there is a bug where if a wall is too close, it could cause an interruption to this signal and turn off the automation. Craft connectors can't be used on the large auto machines, only the regular item creation benches. One chest can have multiple craft connectors that connect to multiple benches, but at this time it doesn't work when you place 2 craft connectors into one bench. Again, these items are flammable, so don't use them in hell. The fan pushes items in about a 1x2 area in front, but it can blow items past that range, so place walls to prevent them from going further than you want them to. The wind effect does work through walls, and it will not move items from inside a chest or anything like that. Fans are flammable, so once again, can't use them in hell. Now we have the conveyors. Conveyors move items, mobs, players, or even gravity-affected items in the direction of its belt. When placing, you can see the directional arrow that shows which way it's going. The 45-degree angle one will move items, players, and mobs up and down, but the gravity items do have an issue with going up the 45-degree angle. The regular conveyor itself takes about 2 seconds to move the item the length of one floor, and the high-speed item actually goes about 3 times faster. Interesting fact though, if you stack the conveyors, they actually move them faster. While the regular version is flammable, the high-speed version is not flammable, so they can be used in hell. And since they're capable of moving the herbs that are on the ground, it's an interesting way to actually get hell peppers. The item sorter, well, it sorts items. Like the conveyor, directional arrows can be seen on placement preview. So in the menu, if you allow an item to go through, that item will be the item that goes straight and all the rest of them go right. If you allow all of them, then all items will go straight through. Excluding an item allows all items except for the ones specified to go straight, and the excluded item goes right. And if you exclude all items, then all items will go right. They can either be snapped together directly to make a chain, or leave one space to leave room for containers. But if you do leave the space, you must place a conveyor in between them, because they're separated and the items will stop. The item sorter is not flammable. Drones pick up wood in an area around its base, and then drops the wood in the center hole. Be careful when using drones though, because they will remove all enchants from the wood. An interesting thing about the drone though is that they can be placed in the air floating and they're completely immune to attacks. They actually don't have health, so you can use them in boss forms and as floating platforms, and they're not flammable. Cannons can blast players or mobs at 0 degrees, 45 degrees, or 90-degree angles. The 45-degree angle tosses players about 6 floors up and 10 tiles ahead. Mobs actually go much higher and much further. The 0-degree cannon will toss a player a little less than 6 tiles ahead, and the mobs go much further. And then the 90-degree one toss a player up approximately 10 floors from the base of it, and the mob goes about twice as high. Players will damage items around the landing area, but it does use the weapon's durability. However, players won't damage building items. Mobs, on the other hand, will damage building items. Players can escape the trajectory by jumping. Placing another cannon in the trajectory does allow for continuous movement. Cannons are flammable though, and will burn in hell. And lastly, we've got the dashboard. The dashboard quickly moves mobs and players in the direction of the arrow, but it doesn't move items or gravity items. Dashboards are also flammable, so they can't be used in hell either. So that's pretty much all we have for the movement automations. Up next, we'll talk about the automations that are more functional. Things like the rotating saw, excavator, sprinkler, those kind of things. Hopefully this video was informative to you guys and gives you a better idea of how to build your own automations. I look forward to seeing what you come up with. You can join us on our Discord and show us what ideas you've come up with, or even come to ask some questions if you're not sure. You're also welcome to comment if you have any questions below. As always, thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed this video, click like and subscribe, and have a great day.